I got it pretty much. I cleaned up the trim here. We're going to finish a little bit more sanding here, not much. Just try to get this roughness out of here. And then we're going to mask it. When I mask it, I'll probably mask it down to about here where just a little bit of this chrome shows, this aluminum, so that if I don't want to go right up there, because that way the self-etching primer will get down in there. Same with the paint. You gotta be kidding me. I knew I had it. 240. I've got finer sandpaper than this too, but I want to hit this with the 240 because I did it with the 120. I did it with the 60, then the 120. I want to hit it there and here. I'll do that off camera. And then I'm going to hit this again with the self-etching primer, and I'm going to just lightly sand it and paint the whole damn thing. Matter of fact, I don't even think I need to sand over the self-etching primer and just paint it white. But I gotta put the primer to make sure it goes down into here. So we're gonna mask that off just so a little bit shows, and then I can scrape it off with a razor blade, not a problem. But with the Bondo, you can see how much problem it would be. And this is what I feared. It didn't go down very good. This is why I didn't want a Bondo in this area. It'd be no problem if I can get this off. I can get this off, but it would have looked like hell putting it back on because it would be bent and everything else. Trying to pry it off, it would be bent. It would look like hell, and I'm not going to have that. So we'll come back on this in a minute. This video is getting way too long. Look at this. Ketchup, home fries. Yes, sir. That's the way to go. It's the best I can do. I can still feel it with my fingernail, but I can't feather it any more than that. That's the best I can do. It don't look good. It's nice and smooth. I mean, it don't look great, but it looks okay. And if you look here, I kind of like just about, you can see just a little bit of the chrome. That's what I want. So I want the primer to get down in there to protect it. Now, normally, as I said, I would use the rust reformer on here, but I have to wait 24 hours. I want to do this today and get this done today because I still got all this here to do. This area, I may not get that today. And then, of course, down here. This needs sanding, grinding down, and everything else. So, I was hoping I can get this and this done today, but two things are stopping me. This and this. I got just enough here in this can to do the white on this. I got just enough of this probably just to do this, and that's probably about it. So, and then of course when I get these doors done, then I got to go and redo this again. This got a little crack in it. That's sheet metal coming right up here and blends in with this. So I'll have to hit that a little bit and put some Bondo on it. And in here a little bit of. This is just the Bondo. This is all sheet metal I formed in here and has Bondo on it. Bondo glass and regular Bondo. You remember that if you look back on those old videos, if you did watch them before I removed them. Now I'm going to hit the self-etching primer here. Mainly concerned with this area right up on the top here. And we'll do this. I gotta put something behind here so the paint don't get inside. Sure we get it down in there. That's what I wanted. Protect that. Okay. Now I don't put too much on, just a light coating. And then we'll very, very lightly sand it with the 240 paper. Or if I can find my real fine stuff, I'll hit it with the real fine. Very lightly. I don't want to take the hell self-etching primer off. And we'll let that dry, and then we'll do that, and then we'll put the final coat of white on here. Well, it's going to be the first coat of white. There will be another one later, but judging from what's in this can, I'm not going to be able to probably get very much more work done today. Okay, I found my sandpaper I bought at the hardware store. This is 80 grit right here. It isn't cheap either. A lot of money for these. And these two are 320 grit. So what I'm going to do is to hit this with the 320. This is dry, but I'll wait a little bit longer. Hit this with the 320. I'll just do the whole thing gently over here because I don't want to take the primer down to the bare metal again. Otherwise, I'll have to hit the primer again. And then weight that down real good. And then paint it with the white. Well, I don't know how much you can see, but I'll fold this in half. This is wet or dry, but we're doing a dry sanding. We're just doing it lightly. Very lightly. This I can feel, if I run my finger across it, I can feel a little tiny ridge here. But not enough to stop me when I do this, just on this side. But I have to be careful. I can't take too much material down because I'll be over and over priming it constantly. When I get down to do this part down here, you can't see it on camera. I'll do that off camera. You don't need to watch me sand. It's quite boring, actually. It's the worst part of body work. I hate sanding, I really do, and I've said it before, it shows in my body work results. We're just hitting this lightly, just to get the, you know, something for the paint to stick. Never going to be smooth. So I don't even try for that anymore. But it's smoother than it was, a lot smoother. It'll never be like new, but it will look pretty close and like new unless you get real close to it. Now I'll get myself over here. Not easy to. I don't want to tear this stuff up, and you know, I like to try to keep it whole if I can. That way I can use it on large areas when I need the sand. And just hitting it very lightly. Very lightly. Just to get, when I paint it, that's a little dripping from paint that when I touch it up, but it's flat. I don't feel anything there. Person can be here all week trying to do one area just to try to get perfection. I try to get it good, but you know. Okay. Good to me. We're going to paint this. I'm going to paint this right now. We're going to make sure we don't hit down in the gray area here. Don't want to do that. There's enough to do this area. Now this I didn't do on the driver's door, on the white part. I only did the gray. I just want to do this now because you can see how much whiter that is. And that's the match for this van. But you can see how much whiter it is. But before we do anything, we want to get these areas here. Get these areas here. In case I run out of paint, at least these areas are covered. Be careful I don't go overboard. I do that sometimes, and paint runs. I'll tell you right now, that can is almost totally out. I'm lucky if I get another coat on that. Okay, boy, that paint smell is giving me a weird, when I breathe in, it gives me a weird smell in my nose, even though I'm not anywhere near it. Chemical smell or something. Screws up my sense of smell. I got 3 light coats on there so that it don't run. And while tacky, we hit the next one. That's a good way to do it because where the paint will stick the second time. It looks pretty darn good. I'll get you a little closer here. I'll hold my breath. So I think that will take care of that door. But I'm almost out of the white and almost out of the primer, etching primer. Now, when I do this door, there's a little spot here that was hit with aluminum paint. I can take that down. That might be a little rust in there. And this is going to be like that other part that I showed you on the door where I'm going to have a problem with this here area. And this here and then down here has got to be ground because that's all rough. That just overspray from the gray that I put on there. Because I have to get more of this when I go down to Harbor Freight. And I got to get another can at the auto parts store of the van Duplicolor to match this. When this door is done, then I can concentrate on this and this area down here. Then when the back is done, I got to pull the wheel off and do this. That's going to be a major job right there because I got to put sheet metal up underneath there. And roofing cement is what I use, and then pop rivet or screw in. Self-tapping screws I'll probably use. Seal it with roofing cement. Very good in seams and everything, and then just buckle it up there. You don't need to use Bondo underneath, so that's not going to be a problem. Grind this down and Bondo glass this area. I can still smell it in my nose, even if I go way out to the backyard. I can still get a weird smell in my nose. It's affected me today for some reason. And I try not to breathe it, but you know, especially this one. It wasn't the self-etching primer, it was this Duplicolor. Very, very slightly tacky, but I can use this. This is done down here, but this gray area is going to need another coat, the total of 2 coats. But that'll get done all at once I get this done. But you can see how much brighter white this is than this. This is the match for the van. On the driver's side, this didn't stand out as much, but this kind of like looked like it yellowed a little bit or something. If you look up here, it's more white than it is down here. But anyways, we'll take this off. That off. Take that off. That don't look too shabby. Thought I was going to end this video, but apparently we had a spot that was right on this line. Now this is the so-called pinstriping here. It's pretty crappy. I think what I'm going to do, not today, I got to get some more white, and I'm probably going to need 2 cans of it, is I'm going to eliminate the pinstripe on the bottom. Pinstripe on the top, see it's red, it looks okay. On the bottom it's not. I'm going to, like I say, it seems to be a decal or something. I'm going to try to sand that off by hand, I guess, and mask this off, but not today. But right now I'm going to touch that spot up with some, just a dab of primer, and we'll have to go over that again. Well, this is why I say it's a losing battle, but we're doing the best we can. Definitely looks better than it did before, so I'll touch this spot up. Matter of fact, I think I've got a, well, I'm going to hit the rusty, self-etching primer can somewhere around here, in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it. I'll do it off camera. Here it is here. I'll do it off camera. I'll spray a little bit of this into something and take a little brush and go on it. That way I don't have to mask this off. Then I've got to touch up one of them little touch-up things that, you know, for the van that matches a little bottle. If it didn't all dry up on me, I'll touch that spot up. That way I won't have to try to paint this whole thing and mask it off again. Because you don't want to put tape on this paint. I just taped it. I just painted this, and there would be a big problem if you try to tape it, mask it off. You pull the damn paint off. So you don't want to do that because the paint isn't hardened and cured yet. All right. Well, this is probably going to be a 2-parter. I hope it isn't any longer than that. Thanks for watching, and there will be more on the side door project for this van. So thank you for watching. You have a good day.